Good morning. Hello, MouseHunt. Welcome. Feedback Friday today, December 9th, 2016. Is it the 9th? Whatever day it is in December. Yes, it is the 9th. Hello. How's everybody doing in the chat? A lot of hey, hello. Some discussion of the fate of that dwarf mouse. Good morning to you as well in the chat. Hello. All right. Well, today we're going to do a feedback question about gifting, specifically free social gifts. You want to call it that, or your free daily gifts. I guess that's a better name for it. And then we're going to do a preview, a sneak peek at the Great Winter Hunt, which, in case you didn't see on the Facebook wall for MouseHunt, there we announced it's starting on Tuesday. So the Great Winter Hunt is coming this Tuesday. That is, I'm not even going to pretend to know what date that is. Because I didn't know what date it was today. But this coming Tuesday, the event will start sometime around 5 p.m. UTC if you're looking for something a little more specific. Give or take, that's rough. So it's in the morning here in Toronto here. We usually start at around 11 a.m. or so, kind of is when we've had a chance to kind of come in, get settled, do our last minute little preparation. So we usually start it at about this time. So whatever time this broadcast went live, that's roughly about when it'll go live. But by 5 p.m. UTC, which I think anyway is about an hour from the time of this broadcast, it should definitely be up and running, I would think. 13th, there we go in the chat. People inform me that next Tuesday will in fact be the 13th of December. So that is when the Great Winter Hunt is starting, unless something absolutely horrible happens between now and then. So our feedback question before we dive into the Great Winter Hunt has to do with free daily gifts. So things that look like, it's on this side, like this. Today, I believe it is the posing mouse action figure, which is less than exciting, I think, is definitely feedback we've gotten in the past. And what we're wondering is if you would like to see the gift of the day occasionally be something a little more useful, maybe something more exciting like a useful cheese or crafting item, but the amount you could claim would be reduced. So after you claim, say, 15, that's it. You can't save them for subsequent days. Right now, if you're not familiar with it, after you upgrade your King's Calibrator, I believe the maximum is 15 gifts a day you can claim. So today you can claim 15 of those posing mouse action figures. Now, if you had hundreds of friends all send you posing mouse action figures, after you claim 15, you can't claim anymore, but tomorrow they're still there and you can claim 15 again tomorrow. So the change we're considering making is making it so you could only ever claim 15 of the gift of the day, and they will be gone the next day. You won't be able to continue to claim them. And we're looking for feedback on what you think about that. That's in the chat. That's a lot of mouse figurines. I agree. Yes, useless things are useless. I agree. Was a comment from the chat. Yes, yes. Any hesitations about, obviously, if we make them more useful, to sort of control how many of them are going out. If you get 100 of them, that's probably too many. So we would probably limit, well, it's the gift of the day, so you can claim however many you can claim in one day, which is 15. Any problems with that? Does anyone see any sort of issues or not like that idea? Sounds good, yeah. I like that way of putting it. 15 of something is better than 0 of rubbish, or I guess lots of rubbish. You get 100 rubbish items, or you get 15 reasonably good items. Quality over quantity, yeah. Makes sense, yeah. This is me writing down some feedback here. for a summary that I'll post in the tavern section as well. So if you're watching this recorded, you can leave your feedback in the summary thread that'll be posted in the tavern. It'll be open for 1 week, and then it usually gets archived unless I forget to archive it. Then it might just hang out for a month. Who knows? Yeah, there's a good something good came up in the chat there, or a good point came up in the chat about sort of time zones. And right now it would potentially be they would expire, which would mean you might be able to claim more. So I think what we're considering is they would still expire after 7 days, but once you claim your daily max, 15. So today it's 15 posing mouse action figures, but imagine that was 15, you know, I don't know, even 15 Super Brie, right? So you claim 15 Super Brie, and then if other friends sent you Super Brie, so you had maybe 30 pending gift of the days, after you claim 15, be like, okay, you've claimed your 15 of the gift of the day, so you can't claim anymore tomorrow or the day after. They're just gone after that. And we're looking, this is specifically just for the gift of the day. So this win effect, although I think here my frame is covering it up here, but mozzarella cheese, stale cheese, and radioactive sludge you could also see there, but they would be unaffected, I think, to start. Yes, it's more of a limit than an expiry date was a comment from the chat. It's more of a limit of how many of the gift of the day you can claim. So if December 9th gift of the day was a posing mouse action figure, you can claim 15 of those, the ones that were sent on December 9th. A good question in the chat. Is there any future use planned for those posing action figures or Larry sandwiches? I don't believe so. But again, it's a bit of an issue. The gift of the day, the good stuff shows up somewhat rare because when it does show up, you could potentially get hundreds of it. So that's sort of why and every other day it's just sort of filler stuff that's useless, because when it's something good, you get lots of it. And if you got that lots of it every day, you would be getting it faster than you could even use it, which would be a little imbalanced, or there'd be too many items going out. As a side note as well, it's a little bit of off topic for gift of the day. We're looking for just changes to the gift of the day, but also gifting as a whole, I think, needs a bit of an update, but that's probably something that would save for another feedback video. Why we're considering this gift of the day is because we're sitting down to do the Great Winter Hunt gifts, and it's sort of controlling what type of gifts are going to show up as gift of the day and how often they show up as gift of the day. This limit thing would help us put more useful items in the Great Winter Hunt to appear more often, so that you could get them, but you're not getting them faster than you can use them, which means that the main way that you collect cheese would be through your friends sending it to you as gifts rather than hunting for it as loot drops. And so if you don't have friends that play the game, it would sort of further the gap between people that have friends to send them items and friends that don't, whereas friends are just meant as a nice little bonus. Every once in a while you can get some items from your friends. So that's what led us to this gift of the day discussion. So for instance, like winter charms or Arctic Asiago or something else that's useful during the Great Winter Hunt. We want that to kind of appear as the gift of the day a little bit more often, but if it was appearing too often and you just started to have thousands of these items because, or people who had lots of friends had thousands of these items, it would really widen that gap between the hunters who don't have a lot of friends to send them gifts and those who do. So we kind of want to balance that and bring that a little bit closer together. The one thing I think everyone agrees on, they don't particularly like the useless stuff, so that seems to be the unanimous feedback. In the end, it would have the same effect, right? A limit on how much you could claim would be over the course of a month or a year. How many of those useful items you can claim would be about the same, but every day you're claiming less of it rather than really hoping for that gift of the day to be good and then getting, okay, 100 of my friends all need to send me this gift so that I can claim it over the next 7 or 8 days, another batch. Okay, well, I think pretty good feedback. We'll leave it there. We'll get some more. You can follow up in the tavern as well. But that's good to hear that that makes sense to a lot of hunters. We were a little bit scared because it feels like we're taking something away, so we were kind of scared to make that change where at the end of the day you can claim fewer gifts, but you're going to get more useful gifts instead. So we were a little bit always scared when we reduce how much you can do something or how much of an item you can get, but it's good to see that the feedback in the chat was that hunters sort of understand quality over quantity. So we'll kind of keep that in mind when we're making a decision for the Great Winter Hunt. Which brings us to the Great Winter Hunt. Want to do a sneak peek gameplay preview, let you know what's coming. This year's Great Winter Hunt, it's different from last year. It's a brand new event, although we have drawn inspiration from other things in the game and past events as well. This year's Great Winter Hunt will have hunters flying through the winter air in a sleigh pulled by a temporal turbine engine. As your magical sleigh flies over Narnia, you're going to transform the ground below into a wintry wonderland. Now, your sleigh's magical ability to fly is powered by holiday spirit, just like Santa's, or so I've been told. But the holiday spirit's at a bit of an all-time low due to an imposter mouse that's been stealing gifts, tearing down decor, just being a general Grinch. So to boost holiday spirit, you're going to go out, recover some gift items, wrap them up, hand them out, boost everyone's holiday spirit so that your magic sleigh can fly just like Santa's, although your temporal turbine engine has a lot more horsepower or reindeer power maybe than Santa's sleigh would, and transform the ground below into a wintry wonderland. I am glad some hunters in the chat here got the joke of, can I just steal the engine? Sorry, it's permanently attached. You can't get that temporal turbine off the sleigh engine. You stay tuned. I think tomorrow there's a little teaser image of the sleigh. I like that Jacob drew with the turbine pulling the sleigh. It looks kind of funny, but we'll save that. It'll appear on the wall post, I think, in the not too distant future. So here are some of the gift items as well. You may notice these were on the Facebook wall post, I think 3 of them. The gift items that you're going to be searching through the snow to recover. You're going to be getting a batch of those items, wrap them up as a gift, hand them out, and boost everyone's holiday spirit so that your sleigh can fly. If I can find the next, where's the next image here? Got a lot of images here. Flight, there it is. So once you wrap up 10 gifts, or quantity of gifts, I guess we're still kind of play testing, so again, grain of salt, all this is still kind of work in progress, although we're pretty well done, so it's just about there. I'll see with it coming on Tuesday. Once you wrap enough gifts, you'll boost holiday spirit, and you'll be able to have your sleigh take flight, and so that might be a little tiny, but you can see your sleighs flying through the air. Behind it, you're creating a winter wonderland, as just like Santa, you fly over the wintry landscape, and ahead, oh, there's no Christmas lights, it's a little dull and dark, but behind your sleigh, there's endless Christmas cheer behind you. A question from the chat, do we need to go to a specific area? Will be the Great Winter Hunt location. As always, there'll be a specific event location that you'll visit. Now, recovering gifts, how you do that? It will work somewhat like the Sunken City. Actually, very much so like the Sunken City. We drew some inspiration from the Sunken City as well as the birthday cupcake event. So you'll feel, there's a couple little familiarities there, but they're fused together to create something unique still. If each hunt you take is going to move your sleigh forward and you explore various zones in search of gifts, Nitro can boost your sled. It's the same Nitro from last year, but it'll be repurposed. It'll no longer be Toboggan Nitro, but it'll be Sled Nitro. Let you cover more ground per hunt when you use your Nitro. Anchoring charms will grip into the ice and snow, slowing you down so you can explore a zone for a longer period of time if you find something that you like. Although any type of anchoring charm will work, a new festive anchoring charm will be available, and that will slow you down, but it'll also lure the snowflake mouse to your trap, and the snowflake mouse, as always, has even more loot to find. The winter charms, which I think you can see on the HUD, although it's a little small image, it's way over there, is the winter charms have the same effect. They will attract the snowflake mouse, but they don't slow you down. So the new festive anchoring charms that will be arriving with the event, they combine the effects of an anchor charm and a winter charm into one. So they'll slow you down, you get the snowflake mouse, and you get loot even quicker. A question about the winter aura. It will be coming back. I'm going to do a quick little peek at some of the rewards that you'll earn during the Great Winter Hunt as well. Sneak peeks was a request in the chat as well. We'll get to that. I'll have a couple little screenshots. I think some 350 by 350 crops of the traps that are coming. Someone asking, is there a way to get more friends in MouseHunt? You can try the forums. There's a meet and greet section as well to find hunters maybe of your similar title or hunting in same locations to help sound your horn. Question from the chat, library assignments? No, there will not be any library assignments for the Great Winter Hunt. That kind of had a little bit mixed reviews. We were seeing how many, we did it for Halloween once. There were some Halloween library assignments, had kind of mixed reviews and not too many hunters participated in them. And I think the Crystal Library needs a little bit of an overhaul. The assignments feel a little not quite right when they tell you to go and capture a mouse with the target base or something like that. Didn't prove to be a very fun challenge for hunters. Maps. Will there be maps? Good question, actually. I didn't have that in my summer here, but yes, there will be naughty and nice lists, just as last year. You can be able to purchase them from the cartographer at the event location for relics. The naughty lists are a little bit longer, and you need to track down mice that are a little bit more difficult to catch or a little harder to find, where the nice lists, they're a little bit shorter and they have slightly easier to find mice on them as well. So you can kind of, depending on your rank, the equipment available to you, you can choose your level of challenge, and also you get a little bit of reward for taking on the hard ones. Can we use old maps? Yes, although depending on the map, you might get rewards that aren't particularly useful for this specific event, but old maps, when you open them up, they will have event mice on them that you can hunt down. You can get the points and the gold out of the chest, but you might end up getting something that isn't super helpful in the event, so maybe check the wiki, see what reward that particular map leads to. But the naughty and nice lists, if you purchased them last year, they will be the same naughty and nice list this year, but when you open them up, so if you open up one now, you're going to get different mice than if you wait until the event starts and you open up a naughty and nice list. The mice that you can find on that list will be updated for this year's event. Any secret loot in these maps was a question from the chat. It'll be a way to get trap skins. So just in years past and previous winter hunts, the advent chocolates are how you get the trap skins of the event. However, you don't earn enough advent chocolates to buy all of the trap skins. So if you're looking to get every single trap skin, then doing maps will be very interesting to you, because that's the only other way you can find advent chocolates to get enough to buy all the skins, which I think you need maybe 100, 110, somewhere around there to purchase every single skin. Will the old winter cheese return? Yes, it will. I don't know if you can see on the HUD, but Arctic Asiago is this year's cheese of choice due to its super slippery, low friction properties. It seems to be the best cheese. That said, any festive cheese will work, but Arctic Asiago is going to bring around the best mice that drop loot most often, and it's also the only festive cheese that has 100% attraction rate, whereas the other ones will fail to attract, and you're just like in the Sunken City, your sled will, or your sleigh will not move forward when you fail to attract. So I also have, I think if this is the right button, a bit of a demo here of, or an animated version of that screenshot, otherwise known as a video, I guess. You can kind of see what's going on. It'll feel, similar to the Sunken City. You're in your sleigh just like Santa. And you can see the engine that Jacob drew. I had a good chuckle when he showed me that. You're exploring away. Will ice coins be useful, was a question from the chat. No, they will not. You will not be able to use your ice coins. They were retired last year. We let hunters know to cash out all their ice coins, as they will no longer be part of the Great Winter Hunt. I think you can see here I'm using my nitro to speed up. I like to. Jacob drew a few different versions of the sleigh. So when you're going fast, it's flying up, there's a bunch of snow behind you, and here's the anchor. You can see it kind of throwing it behind the sleigh to slow down. I'm glad someone in the chat liked my animated screenshot, aka video, whatever that is, this newfangled technology. So just like in the Sunken City, I'm looking for particular items. I'm shipping my gift orders. I'm discovering I'm going through some ski hills there to find skis and sleds, but I'm going through a tinsel forest. Now again, grain of salt, this is still a little bit work in progress. The look, definitely today, Jacob is just finishing up the sort of cosmetic looking frame of the HUD, so it looks very very boring and gray right about there. That will look a little bit more festive, I think. So this is kind of our work in progress. HUD. It's a kind of an older version of it. Now, once you take flight, where did I find that flight? There it is. So once you ship enough gifts, you take flight, and as I showed you earlier, you're creating Winter Wonderland behind you. Your anchors will no longer slow you down because they'll just be dangling in the air. They won't really do. There's nothing to grab onto when you're up in the sky. But those charms will still help you capture the snowflake mouse while you're in the air, which will still drop unique loot. Or you can switch over to winter charms when you're in the air. Will probably be a pretty good strategy to employ. And save your anchor charms for the ground and use your winter charms in the air, and you'll get the snowflake mouse and capture or find some more loot from the snowflake. While airborne, you'll also come across the Great Winter Hunt Imposter Mouse, which is this year's big bad mouse. It's the one wrecking decor, tearing down decorations, stealing gifts, and lowering holiday spirit. So while you're flying up in the air, you will occasionally come across that mouse, and capturing that mouse will boost everyone's spirit so much that you'll be able to fly, your sleigh will fly for longer. So you'll want to capture that mouse as many times as you can while you're in the air. Now that said, if you arm a winter charm to get the snowflake mouse, it doesn't affect how often you can encounter that mouse either. So it's definitely still good to be hunting the snowflake mouse while you're in the air. And I like to picture those snowflake mice just kind of dangling down through the air a little bit. Yeah, Ryan in the chat, I agree. My video quality is probably not good. Our internet here, I just don't trust it. So I think I'm in like 480p or something like that, which probably makes, if you want to look at these screenshots, not so great. But I'll post these screenshots as part of the summary in the tavern section as well, so you'll be able to see a little bit higher res version of some of these teasers. Now that said, actually, and I knock on wood, I haven't cut out yet. I am plugged in today with I got a cable. I have a cable, not on Wi-Fi, so I'm hoping that helps me out a little bit. But I don't necessarily think it's our Wi-Fi network. I think it's our actual internet connection is just not very good. Which brings us to rewards, because what's an event? What is an event without rewards? Can I find those? Where are they? There we go. All right, so someone asked for a sneak peek at some of the traps coming in this year's Great Winter Hunt, and there are two. You'll earn a whole bunch of tiers of rewards. As your sleigh flies over, you're creating Winter Wonderland below you, and the more Winter Wonderland you create, the bigger the distance you cover while you're flying through the sky will start to unlock new tiers of rewards that you can claim. An adventure reward will be the Winter Aura. It works the same way as it did last year. Your trap gets a +5 luck bonus. Mice will drop bonus loot throughout the game, including in the event area. The aura will last even after the event ends, so you can keep collecting some gifts through January. These two traps will be limited edition. One is a hydro trap, and the other one is a forgotten trap. And one's aimed at sort of mid-level players, and one's aimed at a little higher level players if you need some help in the labyrinth, working towards those even better traps. There is a very joyful looking journal theme, which I don't have a screenshot, so that will stay as a surprise, but there's a journal theme to earn. There's also a pile of Winter Hunt gift boxes to earn from Elf Mice. The Elf Mice are back. They drop rank-specific gift boxes ranging from, I think, is the lowest red and the highest is orange? That would have been a good trivia question, but I don't know the answer. So I know the highest one is orange and then purple. They roughly kind of are color-coded after the title shields. So the Elf Mice will be back. The Winter Aura includes finding Great Winter Hunt gift boxes. So that's a way to get loot to help you out throughout the game. It's kind of the ice coin replacement, as you open up those gift boxes and you find things that are useful for your title. There is throwable snowballs to play the Snowball Showdown, which will be back this year. There's new shapes and new rewards to earn on the Snowball Showdown as well. So every time you play it, you'll find 4 different shapes. It won't be the 4 same shapes every time. So a little extra noodle scratching to figure out that Snowball Showdown game. I think what else do I have here? I think I have one more screenshot. Yes, I love this little crate right here. Is this not like the cutest little crate ever? I think Jacob drew it yesterday. When I saw that come in, I was like, oh, that's just the cutest little crate I've ever seen. So after you claim all of these tiers of rewards, you can just keep on flying in that sleigh. And every distance you go past the final reward, you will smash into one of these crates. They'll go into your inventory, and you can open them up, and there'll be some little goodies to find inside this very Rudolph-looking crate as well. There's a few little good items to find, and you can kind of hoard up and stock those crates. And maybe when I know there'll be a few hunters, well, you can let me know in the chat here. You'll probably stack up a big stack of them, open them all at once. That's always kind of fun to do. I like to do that myself. Yeah, Katrina in the chat agrees that crate is. I love that crate. It's just I think this needs to come back every year because I just want to look at this every December. I feel like I want a T-shirt with that crate on it or something. Now the one on the other side is a Super Brie supply pack that's going to have Super Brie and also provide the lucky golden shield when you open it up, and that is the first reward that you earn while you're flying as well. So everyone. During the Great Winter Hunt, you will get a supply kit that will give you the lucky golden shield, as well as some Super Brie. And then you can go on to get a trap, a journal theme, another trap, and then finally just endless amounts of cute-looking Rudolph crates to stack up. That's interesting. Sean in the chat said, thinking Hal when I see that crate. That's a slightly more dark take on that than Rudolph, but yeah, I could see that resemblance. John in the chat asking how long. I assume how long can you smash open or can you keep collecting those crates? I keep saying smash. I picture the sleigh just flying through and smashing those open, but you collect them and you can open them in your inventory for as long as the Great Winter Hunt's going. So basically, once you get all those limited edition rewards unlocked, you claim them. There's still something you can just keep going and keep collecting. If you really want to keep flying forever, there'll always be one more little thing to find as you go. It looks like Rudolph is stuck in the crate, was a comment from the chat. Again, a little more dark take on the cute crate. There's just like somebody crammed Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer in that crate and just kind of, its antlers burst out and the nose burst out, but the rest is just reindeer meat, I guess. We're going in a dark place here, not nose shining so bright. How long will the shield last for? A few days. I think 5 or 6 days. It's not quite pinned down, but you'll get a few days of golden shield and some Super Brie. But like I said, that is the very first reward you earn in the Great Winter Hunt as well, so that'll be the first thing you find. Yeah, Ryan in the chat, ugh, reindeer meat. Venison, I guess. I guess we really shouldn't talk about venison around Christmas. It doesn't quite have a holiday spirit to it. Will it reset the shield I already have? Was a question from the chat. It'll work just like any other kit in the game. If it's going to make your shield last longer, it will extend it. Otherwise, it will have no effect, but you'll still get the Super Brie. So if you're really interested in the shield, you can hold on to it and open it up when you don't, or when you no longer have a golden shield. Or otherwise, you can open it up, enjoy the Super Brie, and but it will not. Golden shields do not stack. So when you open up something with the golden shield, if it's going to make your shield longer, it extends it. Otherwise, your shield stays the same. Question in the chat, will the Great Winter Hunt be another entry in the adventure book? Yes, there will be an adventure to complete. It involves shipping the gifts, having your sleigh take flight, track down the Great Winter Hunt imposter mouse, and once you capture the imposter, you finish the adventure, you can claim the reward, which the adventure reward would be the festive aura. So probably, that might be the first or second thing you find as a reward in the Great Winter Hunt is the aura. Are there trap parts, was a question. No, there are no trap parts to collect. You just get the trap itself once you spread enough Winter Wonderland to reach that tier of reward. Question from John in the chat. I have a 30-day golden shield. If I open the supply kit, will it be reduced to 5 days? No, it will. When you open a kit, it will only ever extend your shield. It will never reduce it. If it's going to reduce it, you just don't get the shield. You get all the other items in the kit, though. There is an FAQ question. If you go to mousehuntgame.com or apps.facebook.com, go to MouseHunt. That's an easier way of saying that. If you go to the help section at the top, there's FAQ. You can search the word golden shield, or just golden, And there is an FAQ that says, do multiple golden shields stack? And it has a nice little example. Like you have 50 days of the golden shield. You make a $1 purchase, comes with 30 days of the golden shield. Your shield time will remain at 50 days. Another example is you only have 15 days of the golden shield. You make a $1 purchase, comes with 30 days of shield. Your shield time will now be 30 days. So it will extend it. It will set it to that time. It'll never make it shorter. And Eileen there's stacking up quite a few auras. Yeah, you can definitely keep all the auras work together. So your interface will start to, I believe they all start to, I don't know if I've had two at the same time before, but I think they'll just, just keep getting auras. If we ever have enough to fill that whole left side of the trap image, then we'll have to maybe come up with a solution there. But right now, I don't think that's possible. Brian's asking about location-specific rewards. They are in the gift elf boxes. You get title-specific rewards. So capturing elf mice and the winter aura as well. Every time you open up those boxes, you'll get that variety of items, things for, if you open up the orange one, which I think you need to be a duke or maybe a grand duke to get the orange one. I forget exactly what that is. Then you'll get things like nightshade, fungus, things appropriate for your title. Thank you, Dennis, for removing that lovely person from the chat. And Ryan there, I don't believe any of the gift boxes have meteorite pieces though. So at least you won't be missing out on meteorite pieces if you're looking for that. Anything Archduke related? Well, there aren't really any Archduke areas yet. We're working on getting there. Hopefully we'll get there. But now the highest would be Grand Duke. I think the orange boxes have been updated when the Great Winter Hunt starts to contain energy charms. I think you can find the tokens, the student tokens for the Feroma Rift as well. KDM's asking, how's the winter in Canada? Actually, we just had pretty well our first snowfall that didn't melt right away. So we kind of came out to a layer of white across everything. But other than that, it's been very mild here in Toronto. But it looks like a forecast ahead, the daily highs will all be in the negatives. So it looks like winter will finally arrive. Any new journal theme was a question from Jordan. Yes, there will be a new journal theme, and it's one of the rewards that you'll be able to claim from the Great Winter Hunt. Yeah, snow is nice in moderate and small doses. Makes things look pretty, but when you're driving somewhere or shoveling it, you grow to despise it at that moment. Yes, I will post a summary in the tavern, as Michelle's pointing out, so if you're just joining us, you missed anything, these are the little notes that I kind of read off while I go through the screenshots. I'll post those notes and the screenshots, so you'll see slightly higher res version of everything. A lot of Canada questions here. Does Canada always experience a white winter? Well, with the Great Winter Hunt, it's always going to be a white winter. But yeah, usually we get snow here. I would be shocked if we went a winter without some snow. Yeah, there's some interesting feedback from the chat here as well. Should the higher ranked boxes have a chance of containing the lower ranked boxes? But I mean, I guess if you really want something that's in one of the other boxes, that would be something worth considering. So that's something we'll kind of keep in mind. Maybe I can discuss that with everybody else as well. Maybe a way to downgrade the boxes. That could work potentially. Like you can exchange an orange for a purple, then a purple for a blue, and so you can kind of That might work well. What do you think about that in the chat, actually? That's kind of a neat idea if you could downgrade your boxes. So if you get an Archduke box or a Duke box, I'm forgetting what the title requirements for each box is at the moment. You could go to the shop and sort of exchange them down if you just don't want the high level stuff, but you couldn't exchange up. So a novice isn't collecting Nightshade. Any pictures of the new traps? Well, if you're just joining us, I did show some. We can find those again. Where are those? Yeah, okay, well, there's good feedback. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to see what everybody else thinks. I can't think of any downfall to that. Suggestion from the chat. Exchange elf gift boxes downwards to choose which box you would like. That's good. I like that. That's a nice little solution. I mean, the shop's going to have a whole lot of boxes going on, but other than that, I like that solution. Smash the gift. That's interesting. Either you unwrap the gift or you somehow magically compress it with your hunter's hammer into a not quite so good gift that you can then open up. Smashing them, yes. I think maybe ideally something from the HUD would be good, so it doesn't feel like you're going to the shop and buy. Although, hey, after the holidays, sometimes you do go to the store and you say, I got this gift and I kind of want this gift. I'm going to do an exchange here. So it actually kind of thematically fits with the theme of a shop. But I was going to say something from the HUD where, Larry's big gift exchange, just swapping gifts for everything. Yeah, Mark had a good point in the chat. If you hit it with your hammer, it's definitely not going to be as good of a gift anymore. So perhaps that also will make sense in some sort of convoluted, slightly magical way. Suggestion just to do that on Boxing Day only. You can go and exchange all your gift boxes so that the shops at the Great Winter Hunt are just jammed. Even implement some sort of lineup mechanic. Doesn't that sound fun? You have to get in line to exchange all your stuff. You have to find a parking spot first as well. There you go. So it takes about 2 hours maybe. You find a parking spot at the general store. Then you go in, you get in line. Maybe you push all the other hunters out of your way because people are polite like that usually at a busy store. All right, well, there's some fun little humor elements going on there for some of these suggestions from the chat. So that's a neat idea. I'm going to kind of pass that on to everybody else and see what they think. Which finally brings us to the trivia question to wrap everything up. And the trivia question has to do with the Great Winter Hunt. And both this year's Great Winter Hunt and those in the past. And that is how many... It's not 48. I'm sorry. The guesses are coming in. The question hasn't been answered. It is a numerical answer, though. How many varieties of festive cheese are there? There's quite a few. This is also a test to see if we forgot about one. We'll see if hunters can think of one that we didn't think of. 42, 36, 12, all way too high. 7 is really close. Again, unless I'm forgetting about one. That's all. 6. There we go. Eric, I think it's gone already. It's gone. I don't know. Tarako, I think if I'm saying your name right, Tarako, you got the correct answer first of 6. I better say that in the chat to end this number spam. Test this reward link as well before I paste it. Laptop's heating up here. Okay, that appears to be working. Sorry, well, Dave is saying that he had the answer correct. I apologize, but the first person I saw was 6. There was a lot. There was a lot of numbers flying by. What's the reward? It's coming. It's coming. I pasted there, so it's Arctic Asiago, Snowball Bocconcini, Festa Feta, gingerbread cheese, nutmeg cheese, and seasoned Gouda. Can anyone think of a 7th? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I counted. I know how to count. And the reward is in the chat as well. And, oh, as always, I'll post that as well. I really should do this at a time, but here we go. I'll grab a reward link. I'm going to put that reward link beside me, potentially. Oh, where did I save that? There it is. There we go. So if you're watching this recorded, you can type that in your browser, and that will work for the next 6 or 7 days. It expires at midnight. Friday at midnight, the first minute of next Friday, so not quite a week from now. But that's 7. No, it's not, Michelle. Don't try to trick me. I counted those twice. Frozen from, oh yeah, okay. No, frozen fromage was a convertible item. I thought you had me there. Frozen fromage was a thing that went in your inventory and you thought it to obtain a piece of nutmeg cheese. So it was not cheese itself. It was a way of getting nutmeg. Can anyone think of a 7th? Did we forget one? Because if we did, then it won't work during the Great Winter Hunt, because that is the list of cheeses that will work during the Great Winter Hunt. I don't like the word cheeses. I don't even think it's a word. Those are the types of cheese which will work during the Great Winter Hunt. That said, Arctic Asiago is the iciest, slipperiest one. It works best with your sleigh. It has 100% attraction rate, and it attracts the loot-dropping mice most often. So you'll want to use Arctic Asiago. That said, if you are in a good zone and you don't have time to collect some Arctic Asiago, you could arm your gingerbread. You'll fail to attract now and then, and you'll get a few less loot-dropping mice. I think there are 3 mice in the Great Winter Hunt as well that they will only come around with Arctic Asiago. You'll never see them if you hunt with another festive cheese, and those ones drop lots of loot as well. I think they drop multiple items at once. Plural of cheese. I think cheeses is a word. It just doesn't sound right to me. Let's see. Let's Google this. Next trivia: is cheeses a word? Yeah, cheeses. Plural of cheese. Sounds wrong, eh? Cheeses. Cheeses. Armory trap with some cheeses. How many pieces of cheeses? Is it possible to farm event cheese? Of course. Like every single event, you can collect event cheese by hunting with standard bait. Your Gouda, Brie, Super Brie, Swiss cheddar. Maybe don't use cheddar. It might take you a while to do the event. Maybe use Swiss or Brie. I'd say it would be the minimum. But if you hunt with regular cheese at the Great Winter Hunt, you will attract a different set of festive mice, and they will all drop Arctic Asiago in rather decent quantities as well. I think most of them drop 2 or 3 at a time, so you can stock up pretty quick. Michelle's asking about Feed Bake Friday. I don't think so. I think that tradition may be retired. It may have to be put into the realm of nostalgia now. Sean in the chat is asking if the cheese platter will turn on a friend's profile. I don't believe so. You won't be able to collect things from friends' profiles, but you will be able to leave gifts. We're still kind of just making sure everything works well. We restored all the functionality from previous events, but we're kind of today that's one of the things we definitely want to test and make sure it's good to go. I like that one suggestion there to rename the boss of Zugswing's Tower to the Cheese Master, but kind of ruined the chess theme, but I like the pun. Are parsing passels coming back? I'll write that down because I don't think they are, but maybe we can bring those back. Couldn't spell parcels there for a second. Suggesting that the Relic Hunter show up in Rifts. We'll keep that in mind. That might be a good idea to do for the next Relic Hunter season. And apparently I said passing Passels. Alright, passing Pascals. We'll pass some Pascals around. It was the first program. Well, I guess it wasn't the first program. That's the first programming language I learned in school was Pascal. Random trivia. I think the first language I learned was BASIC. I have fond memories of the grade 5. Grade 5, our elementary school there had a few little computers, and one was they had a couple games. The snake game that you could play. I think there's no gorillas, and you're throwing bananas. It's kind of you got to do the trajectory and the angles. But there weren't the exe files for those. There was just the basic source code for that, and we had to compile it to play the game. So that's where I started playing around. Are there any toxic spill rewards from elf boxes? Yes, there are actually. You can find toxic spill rewards in the elf boxes. So the toxic spill is on quite the hiatus, so that might be a good time to stock up on some of that stuff. No other update on the toxic spill. That's another question in the chat. We're still sort of retooling that. Not quite happy with how that turned out, so we're hopefully trying to find time to work on it at some point. How long will the Great Winter Hunt last? That's a good question to end on. It will last at least until New Year's, which I think is 3 weeks if I'm doing my math right there. So it will last at least till New Year's Day. So you have all of December to do the event. And on that note, we'll wrap things up here at the 45-minute mark. That's kind of a long Feedback Friday, but hopefully everyone enjoys sneak peek at the Great Winter Hunt. Make sure to come back, check MouseHunt on Tuesday, December 13th. I see, I already forget, I'm bad with dates. This coming Tuesday for the Great Winter Hunt will be live in MouseHunt at sometime around 5 p.m. UTC. So if you really want to know a time as well, hopefully that helps to coordinate your hunting efforts. So until next time, goodbye. Everyone's saying goodbye in the chat. Goodbye to you as well. Happy hunting. Enjoy your weekend. And good luck in the hunt.
Ha 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 ha.